Hello and welcome to a session of Fit Essentials. My name is Shauna. I'll be taking you through class. We're going to go ahead and start standing. We will be doing some work on the floor with some glute bridges later in the hour as well. If you want to use a short band for your glute bridges, you can go ahead and have that available. Otherwise, go ahead and come on up to standing. We're going to start with our breathing. So feet just underneath the hips, palms in front of the chest. Pull the chin in, lengthen through your spine, and then we're going to breathe in, reaching up to overhead. Stretching up out of the hips, and then as you exhale, just open through your chest and shoulders, bring the arms down to the sides. Very good. If you're comfortable to close your eyes, feel free to close the eyes. 2 more times. Breathe deep, stretching up, elongating out of those hips, and really relaxing as you exhale. Very good. Last time. Breathe and reach. Breathe in strength, breathe in confidence, and then as you exhale, let any worries go, concerns, something else that you should be doing right now. Fantastic. Those arms be nice and heavy. Just get a little bounce into the legs, and then we're just going to start to give a nice little shift to the hips, allowing those arms to be heavy and just glide and flow back and forth. And then see if you can just allow those arms to slightly slap against the body. You can have like a gentle slap. And as they hit, see if you can time it with a nice, strong exhale. Good job. Just find a nice, relaxed flow here. Try not to be spastic or anything. Just nice and calm. Staying heavy through the legs. Couple more side to side. Very good. Go down, let the arms come to rest. Walk your feet in a little bit closer. Have those toes pointing straight ahead. We're going to lift up one more time up out of those hips, shoulders back. From here, a little bend in those knees. Round down into your heels as you bring your chin to your chest. We're going into our Jefferson curl here. Just nice and slow, curl, rounding and curling through the spine as you hold strong in your midline. Sliding the hands down the legs, reaching down for the toes. Get a nice stretch in the back side of the body, but hold strong here. And as you're confident, breathe nice and deep in the back of the rib cage. You need to come up at any point, go ahead. Otherwise, try to hang out here for 2 nice deep breaths. One more. And on that exhale, allow the head to be heavy. And then when you're ready, drive into the feet, tuck your hips under, gradually make your way up to the top. Fantastic. Going to walk your feet back out just a little bit. And now we're going to shrug the shoulders up and back, getting some circular motions. Got some overhead work to start today. Once we get into our first circuit. Very good. Once you've done those rolls with the shoulders, now we're going to go into a side step and arm swing. Very good. Welcome, Jean. Coordinate with the breathing. Very good. From here, we're going to go into a side stretch. So keep the feet about hip width apart, interlace the hands, reach straight up to overhead, and then staying rooted into the leg as you're going to bend your torso to one side so you can kind of take your head and peer up towards the ceiling, and then come back to center and take it the other way, bending to the opposite side, peer under the elbow, staring up. Good job. Once more each way. Elongate through those arms, kind of reaching over those head. Over the head. Yeah, over the head, peering up, back to the top, and last time opposite side. Really stretching up out of the hips through the side body. Peer once again up towards that ceiling. Back to center and release. Good job. Back to that side step arm swing. Focus to keep those shoulders down out of the ears. All right, fantastic. From here, wide base stance, we're going to make our way down to the floor. So reach down into your feet. You're going to reach down to the floor, walk it out to the top part of a push-up. So this is the bottom position, and then we're going to walk our way back up. These are called our Sumo inchworms. Rooting down to your feet, reaching up to overhead. Take about 30 seconds here. Just as much as you want, just nice and smooth, out to the push-up, holding strong in that midline, not letting those hips sink. Push through those hands as you make your way back up. Bend into the legs, reaching up to overhead. Feel free to add anything else at the top. And then one more time, we're going to make our way down. And this time, we're going to stay down there. So if you need any kind of mat around, if you don't have that already, feel free to grab it. And we're going to come down to the knees. Good. From here, forearm stretch. We're going to go palms down, fingers point in towards your body. And just very gently leaning back, getting a nice stretch in those forearms. And you can start to rock your torso side to side. And then from there, from the fingers in, we're going to turn them in so they interlace, pointing in towards one another. And then one more time, swiveling the body around, getting some good movement through the wrists and forearms. 2 to 3 one way, and then when you're ready, reverse it, take it the other directions, 2 to 3 times. Fantastic. Once you get those forearms stretched out, we're going to move into the inner thighs. So place the hands underneath the shoulders. Go ahead and kick one leg out to the side, and then we're going to gently rock the hips back towards the heel. Rock forward, and then rocking back. As you start to warm up this inner thigh, you can also start to pay attention to the upper body, walking the hands nice and long, rocking forward, and rocking back, looking to target that inner thigh area of the outstretched leg. After about 3 or more of those, walk that leg in, and then we're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. Kick it out. And as I kick it out, I try not to come up on the side of the foot, but see if you can keep the sole of the foot in contact with the floor. When you're ready, rocking the hips back, dropping the head down, reaching your arms nice and long to open up that lat area at the same time. Breathing in to rock forward, and then exhale as you rock it back, dropping the head down. Very good. Once you've evened that side out with the opposite side, we're going to walk that leg in. And now we're going to bring the knees in so that they're touching and go into our quadruped hip rock. So hands underneath the shoulders, knees are touching, and just very gently holding strong in the midline, rocking the hips to one side and then the other. Common to have a little bit of a release in the low back with this one. And as you're supporting through the arms, splay your fingers out nice and wide so you have a wide handprint. And engage those fingers down, activating the arch of the hand a little bit. And then when you're ready, we're going to turn the toes under, going into down dog, driving the hips nice and high, and just gently pulse the head between the arms, rocking forward, hips drive high, rocking back. Focus on opening that mid-back area. One more time, rock forward, rock back, and then let's add the heel and calf stretch to it. So you'll drop one heel down and then the other, walking it side to side. All right, fantastic. We're gonna go ahead and come on down to our knees, onto our side for quad stretch. So come onto one elbow, grab the foot of the top leg, pull that heel towards the glute, shoulder back, and just gently starting to open up the front of the thigh. If you have any trouble grabbing your foot, you can always get a towel or any kind of rope to loop around your foot to help grab that ankle. Good job. About 10 more seconds here. And whenever we're stretching, we want it to be a gentle stretch, nothing so intense that you're grimacing. When you're ready, go ahead and release and spin it around. Same thing, other side. All right, grabbing that top foot, pulling the heel back. About 20 seconds here. Nice job. You can start to notice your thoughts or clear your mind. Focus on your breathing while you're stretching. Another 10 seconds, just gently driving that thigh back as it starts to lengthen. Very good. We're going to come back onto our backs here. Stretching out the low back just a little bit here. Pulling the knees in towards the chest and rock yourself side to side. We're going to be doing some glute activation work in our second circuit, but for right now, we're just going to do a couple of our glute bridges as an opening and activation for the hips to get ready for our first. So with the knees bent, feet flat, pull the chin in, and we're just going to go about 5 reps here, gradually pushing those hips up towards the ceiling, firing the glutes, holding for about a 2 count, and then relaxing down. On your own, breathe as you drive those hips up. Great time to close the eyes as well, and then relax down. A few more. See if you can get just a little bit more of the tissue of that backside of the body to wake up and fire as you push those hips open. If you have any kind of pinching in that low back, don't go quite as high. Come out of it a little bit and think about trying to elongate out of that low back area as you push those hips up. Good job. Down, relax. Let's go one more. Driving it up and forward. Down and release. Fantastic. Rolling back over to the front side of the body, just a little bit more warm up for the hips and shoulders, and we'll take it back to our feet. All right, we're going to utilize the mountain climber to open up the hips here. So we'll place the hands back underneath the shoulders, come to the top of the push-up, and let's start with your left foot. You're going to step it forward, trying to get it as close to that left hand as possible, and then once you have that foot firmly planted, just try to sink into those hips, just kind of opening up, sinking into the hips, rocking side to side. Just kind of rock towards my right side, then I rock towards my left. Really important here to have that left foot planted, so the heel's down and shin vertical. So don't want that knee shooting way forward. Good job. When you're ready, we're going to step that left foot back. Same thing, opposite side. Walk your right foot as close to that right hand as you can. And then when you're ready, you'll sink into that hip. It's nice and controlled. Rock back to the left, and then sinking back to the right, emphasizing pushing the knee out while the heel stays planted. A couple times here. Very good. Go ahead and step that right foot back. Come on down to the knees, mid-back opener next. So you can either stay up on the hands, or if you want to drop a little bit deeper, you can take it down to the forearm. We're going our thoracic rotations, hand behind the head, elbow towards the opposite elbow, lifting up out of that bottom shoulder. I'll show it off the hand to start, peering to the ceiling. Close, breathe in, lifting up out of the support shoulder and peer up, exhale. Total of 5, breathe in to close. Take your time to turn your gaze and pause in that open position. That's where you really get the benefit of this movement, is that opening. Give you some good rotation. Help open up those shoulders for that next piece. One more. Very good. And when you're ready, same thing, other side. Wide hand print, place it down, and then we're going to go hand behind the head, lifting up out of that support shoulder, peering up towards the ceiling, right about 5. Breathe in to close. Exhale as you open, taking your time. I like to imagine I'm have my torso, and I'm trying to twist my torso like you would wring the water out of a shirt or a towel. And get all the air out of the lungs. Will just help give a little bit more rotation. Last one. And release. Good job. Final stretch on the floor. Toes together, knees divide. Reach the arms out nice and long, traditional child's pose. Drop the hips back and drop your head between the arms. Let's go 2 to 3 nice deep breaths into the back of the rib cage. One more. Fantastic. Make your way up. You can go up into down dog, driving the hips up, pushing the head between the arms, and then walk the feet towards the hands, walk the hands towards your feet, root down into your legs, whatever you need to do to make your way back up to standing. Very good. Once you make your way up, let's grab a little drink of water. And then we're going to start to warm up our squats. So the first exercises, we got a bit of squat, option of a squat, or you can do the overhead press by itself. If you're utilizing it with a squat, it would be considered an alternating thruster. So let's warm up without any weights. Feet about hip width apart, slight toe out. You're going to sink your hips back, reach those arms out as a counterbalance. Help keep that chest up, heels firmly planted, and then drive through your legs. Pull yourself up and forward. Good job. Couple more. Sinking back, eyes up, chest up, sinking down, and stand. Beautiful. Last one. Reach, reach, reach. Lifting through that chest and stand. Beautiful. And then walk the feet in. Cross those arms over the chest, little bend to the knees, And now we're gonna bow forward for our good morning, bowing forward, standing tall. Because our second movement of the circuit is an alternating single arm deadlift. So just wanna warm up some hinging patterns here. Slight bend those knees, they're not hyperextended, but then the movement largely happens by sending those hips back, bowing forward, and I'm just engaged in my midline. Your core and your belly, holding those muscles is what activates, support the spine. And up. Fantastic. All right, so if you do want to use some weights, again, the first exercise, if you want to avoid squatting or take a break from the squatting, if you're newer to this, just focus on the overhead reach. It's going to be an alternating overhead reach for 40 seconds. If you're more experienced here, it's going to be an alternating thruster. So you'll squat down, stand out of the squat, and push up to overhead. Then we would switch the arms, squat down, opposite arm goes overhead on the second rep. So a little bit faster, it looks a little bit like this, driving up, controlling down, driving up on the opposite side. Okay. So a little bit more of a complex movement. So again, if you're newer to this, stick with that overhead reach, okay? Or just the squat by itself. From there, we'll have 20 seconds to transition, and we'll be going to a single arm deadlift, or if you need to hold on with both hands, if you have a little bit heavier weight, then hold on with two. Otherwise, I'll have one, stand straight up, control it down, and switching arms. We'll have 40 seconds there, 3 sets total, 20 seconds in between exercises. Any questions before we start? All righty. And if you're not quite sure, you can always watch the first round and join us when you do feel ready. We're going to start here in 10 seconds. Option of that alternating overhead reach or with the squat. Eyes looking straight ahead, chest nice and tall. 2, 1, and here we go. Down. One arm goes up. Full squat. Then the other arm goes up. Good job. Breathe smooth. And as you push up to overhead, you want to really elevate through that shoulder. Push nice and high towards your ceiling. Good. Breathe. Heels stay planted, chest tall. Fantastic. 10 seconds left. Warming it up. 2, 1, and relax. Very good. If you're using weights, go ahead and set those down. Making our way to the single arm deadlift next. Depending upon your flexibility, you can have the weight flat on the ground, or you can put it on its side, have it a little bit higher. Wide base stance, chest tall, bend into those knees, hinge at the hip, and here we go. Push through the feet. Squeeze that bum as you stand tall, stacking those shoulders straight over the top of the hips. Very nice. Using that upper body to keep the weight close to your center of gravity, so we don't want it to swing out and away. Good job. Coordinate that breathing, looking down towards the floor as you hinge, looking straight ahead as you're standing tall. There's 30 seconds. Driving those knees nice and wide. Very good. Over and down. And 2, 1, and rotate. Beautiful. That's set 1. 20 seconds till we move into set 2. We'll be back with the overhead work or the thruster. So set those feet back for that squatting position. And 2, 1, here we go. Sinking down, one arm to overhead. Good job. Eyes up, find something straight ahead to focus on. Try not to look down at the ground as you lower. For the deadlift, yes, but for the squat, keep those eyes up. As we look down, we tend to drop our chest. So you want to keep the eyes up, help keep that chest nice and tall. Very good, that's 30 seconds. Elevating through the shoulder, one more. 2, 1, and relax. Very good. 20 seconds. Make any changes as you'd like for your weights. We're going back to that deadlift. If you're not sure about picking something up off the ground, you can always do a good morning, just bowing forward, practicing that movement. Otherwise, stand tall, Brace into the legs, hinging over, and here we go. Push through the feet, squeeze your bum. Very good, nice flat back. Sending those hips back, bowing forward. Good job. So now as we bow forward, we want to look down and then looking straight ahead at the top. Exhale as you push into the ground, standing tall. Breathe in as you lower down, bracing through your midline. Fantastic. Maybe one or two more. And rest. Fantastic. That's set 2 down. Set 3 coming up. This will be our third and final of this sequence. All right, nice deep breaths. Give yourself a little bit longer rest as needed. Set the feet, eyes up, 2, 1. Here we go. Squatting down, driving up. And just depending upon your confidence with the movement, if you want to start to move a little bit faster on this round, if you feel warm for it, you can start to descend into your squat as you bring that weight down from overhead. Very nice. Just keep strong postures. Looks great, Sharon. There you go, Diane. Elevate through that shoulder. Push straight up. Good. 30 seconds in. Nice, Jean. And 2, 1, and transition. Beautiful. Set that down. Changing up weights as needed. Final time through on our single arm deadlifts. Nice wide base stance. We call it a sumo stance. Feet outside the hips. Standing tall. Slight bend those knees. Bow forward. And here we go. Chin in. Drive down. Push your feet into the floor as you stand. So our midline strong, supporting that spine line. I drive the feet into the floor, generating that force to be able to pick up that weight. I think about kind of bracing my shoulder blade back and down to help keep that weight nice and close and putting that weight down right in between my ankles. Wonderful. Long spine. Less than 10 seconds. 2, 1, and relax. Great job. Woo. Set 1 done. Let's get some water. And then we're going to be making our way down to the floor. We have some side plank work and some glute bridge work. So this is where we were talking about at the start of class. If you want to have a band for any of the glute bridge work, you can utilize that. But let's take a moment, kind of catch our breath for a second. We're going to open up our hips a little bit more before we get going. We're going to start with that figure 4 stretch. So you can lie back or sit tall. I'm going to take my right foot, put it on the bottom of the thigh, just above the left knee. And then I'm just going to inch my left foot up and in, coming into what we call like a seated figure 4. So we're looking to open up the hip on this side. You can also do that seated in a chair or lying down on the floor. If you're seated here like I am, watch the shoulders. So instead of dropping those shoulders down, pull the shoulders back, lift through that chest. And then as you'd like, you can kind of sway the hips side to side just a little bit. Very good. And then when you're ready, inch that left foot back out and we're going to switch sides. Extend the right leg, left foot just above the right knee. And we're going to inch that guy in. I'm going to go ahead and kick my shoes off for this next piece. Your choice. We do have a little bit of some jumping jack options in the last piece. So if you want to keep your shoes on for that, you can. And extend that leg. Very good. All right, we're going to make our way onto our back. Starting with a regular glute bridge, feet flat on the ground. And I'm going to use this band. You can take it, and I like to put it just above the top of my knees, okay? And I'm just going to use it to add a little resistance, pushing my knees and my legs out against the band as I go into that glute bridge. So laying back and down, feet flat, just about hip width apart. And then pull that chin in. We're going to work for 45 seconds here, pausing at the top. 2, 1, and here we go. Remember to think about lengthening through the spine, fire those glutes. Instead of going kind of like rapid fire, I like to have control of the movement, really make the most of each rep, pausing for at least about a second at the top. And it's totally fine if you don't have that band. We've just started incorporating them. You still get benefit. Just gives a little extra resistance. So relaxing the hips down to the floor and then pushing them up and forward. At the top of the bridge is a great time to pull the chin in towards the chest, just to help lengthen the back of the neck a little bit. Down and up. That's 30 seconds. Actually, that's 40 seconds. We're almost there. Up and hold. Down and relax. Let's go one more. Pause and release. Fantastic. Go ahead and roll onto your side. If you have two legs in the band, if you prefer, you can just slide one leg out. We're going to start with a traditional side plank. So you're going to stack the elbow underneath the shoulder, lengthen through the legs. You can also come up on the knees here. 2, 1, and here we go. Come on up. We're looking to keep the hips and shoulders square. On the next round, we're going to give the option of adding a rotation to it. So what that's going to look like is you're going to reach underneath that bottom shoulder, but only if you feel really confident on holding this plank. 10 more seconds. Breathe and hold. Not letting yourself collapse down. Keep lifting up. And 2, 1, and relax down. Very good. Spin it around. Same thing other side. Set that elbow right at the shoulder. We tend to go too wide here. So walk it in. Stack the feet. You can either have the feet stacked upon each other or stagger them one in front of the other. 2, 1, and come on up. We're holding for 35 seconds on these planks. I know I didn't give you any warnings on that one, so I'll try to tell you when we get to 15 here. That's 15 seconds. Good job, Diane. That's a great modification. Perfect. Keep lifting up out of that support shoulder. There's 25 seconds. If you're going the full 35, we've got less than 10 to go. And you can have the arm outstretched here. You can also rest it on your hip. Just not want those hips to sink. Almost there. And 3, 2, 1, and relax down. Fantastic. Spin it around. We're going to go back to those glute bridges. If you want to advance the movement, you can elevate the feet this time on the, I got a box here. You can also use the seat of a chair or just do the exact same thing we did. I'm going to slide my leg back in, still utilizing the band with the feet elevated. Alrighty. Relax that head down in 2, 1, here we go. So I'm just driving the heels down into the surface and driving the hips up from there. Come all the way back to the floor, driving down, pushing them up and forward. And control down. Good job. Pull that chin in. Down and relax. Get a little bit more of the hamstring activation when you have the feet elevated, so you'll feel a little bit more down in the back part of the thighs and not solely in the glutes. The feet start to slide. You can always kind of put the bottoms of the feet on the edge. Fantastic. 1 or 2 more. Pulling that chin in as you drive up. Control down. And 2, 1, and relax. Fantastic. Slide one leg out of the band if you're utilizing it, rolling onto the side, going back to those side planks. And again, if you're looking to increase the level of difficulty, we're going to add that side plank rotation. 2, 1, here we go, coming up. And what it looks like is I lift up out of that bottom shoulder and reach the top arm under and then come up to the top, keeping the hips nice and high. Reaching under, back to neutral. Fantastic. That's 15 seconds. Holding for upwards of 35 here. If you feel yourself holding or losing good form, just come down for a second. You can either rest there or jump back in when you're ready. 10 seconds left. Reach, rotate. Beautiful. 2, 1. Switching sides. Spin it around. This is set 2. We're going to have 1 more after this. Get that elbow in good position. 2, 1, come on up. So you can hold steady or into that rotation. Lifting up, forming a nice bridge underneath the bottom shoulder. Fantastic. Nice and graceful. Breathe and smile. Thank yourself for showing up and working out. We're 20 seconds in here. Fantastic. Maybe one or two more. Reach, rotate and lift. 2, 1, and relax. Wonderful. All right, taking it back. One more time of the glute bridge work. If you want to do a single leg glute bridge march, we're not going to use the band for that. That's what I'll demo. So feel free to do one of the first two versions or our march. We're going to hold the bridge, and on the march, you keep the one leg up. You can either lift it up and kick it up to overhead or just lift it down and up here. All right, we're going to go full 45 seconds, starting in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. If you already started, no problem. A little extra credit. This single leg requires a lot more stability and control. So you want to be really focused in, having as little drop in those hips from side to side as you can. If you're having a significant drop, then maybe stick with a 2-leg and build some strength there. So I drill the heel down. I also am pushing my arms into the side to help hold that bridge. Very good. Remember to still focus on lengthening through that low back. We're over 30 seconds in. Drive down, lift up. 2, 1, and release. Before we spin into that side plank, let's pull both knees into the chest for a second. Just stretch out that low back. Very good. And then when you're ready, let's roll over onto the side. And we're going to go our last set of side planks. You can stay with either the first two versions, or if you want to increase it once more, we're going to go the side plank clamshell. Top legs held parallel. I'm going to come up on the downside knee. 2, 1, here I go. I come up, lift the hips high, push the hips forward, and they come back and lower down. Lifting up out of the shoulder, push up, push forward, back, and down. Very good. So this gets a little bit more of that side bridge action, good control and stability for the support of the core. Up and forward, down and relax. Good job. We're almost there. I know I gave you no time marks. Up, drive, down, relax, and switch sides. Whew. Alrighty, this is it. Walk that elbow in, stack the knees if you're choosing the side plank clamshells. Lift that top leg up, and 2, 1, here we go. Trying to hold that top leg parallel to the bottom the whole time. So you're also working the hip stabilizers, that top leg, to hold it up like that. Lifting up out of the shoulder, push them forward, back and down. That's 15 seconds. Good, breathing. 10 seconds left. And 2, 1, and all done there. Fantastic. Last time onto the back, just for a couple of hip stretches before we come back to our feet. So extend your left leg out, pull your right knee towards the right shoulder, and let's go ahead and roll that ankle around on the right side. Before you switch directions on that ankle roll, pull your knee across the body gently towards the left shoulder. Start to get a little bit more of a glute stretch, and then twirl your ankle the opposite direction. Good job. Extend out the right leg. Same thing on the left. Driving the right thigh down as you pull the left knee to the left shoulder, introducing those ankle rolls. Circulate around about 5 times one way. Before you switch directions, we'll pull that left knee across the body towards the right shoulder, looking to get into the glute a little bit more, and then spin the ankle around the other way. Good job. Release there. And then we'll go figure 4 from our back. Right foot to that left thigh. Hug that leg in. Say hello to the hip on that right side. And just a traditional figure 4 here. Close the eyes, taking some nice deep breaths. We don't want to calm the system down too much. We've got one more circuit left. So go ahead and release. Same thing other side. Cross that left foot over the right thigh. Hug that leg in. Just say hello to that hip on the left side. We'll revisit this one on the cool down stretch. Two to three breaths. And then release. And just take your time. Gradually make your way back up. We've been down here for a while. Our last piece today, we've got 30-second intervals. We're going to go back to some overhead work, this time with 2 arms together. So as you come to your feet, grab some water. I'm just going to introduce this last circuit. So we'll start shoulder to overhead. You can stand tall and strict press, or add just a little quarter squat, dipping and driving up to overhead. From there, if you're using weights, you'll set them down. Either make your way to an elevated surface for an elevated mountain climber, or you'll come all the way down to the floor. Okay, instead of like on our warm-ups, instead of bringing your foot all the way to the hand, just focus on bringing the knee towards the same side elbow and keeping the hips as level as you can. From the mountain climber, we go into our burpee, stepping it up, reaching up to overhead, or you can hop the feet. Just try to alternate which foot steps up. And then we either finish with a rest break, or if you want to keep that heart rate going, you can do some step or some traditional jumping jacks. So let's take a second, just get a little bit more of a calf stretch. Heel down, toe up on the side of a chair, side of the box, and just sink into that calf. We're going to go between 4 and 5 rounds, so between 8 and 10 minutes here. We'll kind of see how we're feeling as we move through. Switch legs if you have it. Other foot, toe up, heel down, just kind of sink into it. Get a nice stretch in the lower part of the foot, or the calf rather. Alrighty, we'll get started here in about 40 seconds. And maybe you don't have even weights to hold one in each side. That's totally okay. You can hold one weight by each hand. Just make sure your chin's in, dip down, and push up to overhead. You want to avoid any kind of sway back posture here. So let's keep that midline engaged as you push up to overhead. If you're uncertain, just unweighted. Just reach and relax. All right, everybody, 10 seconds. There's no assigned rest in between exercises, so we're just transitioning together. And if you need any extra rest, just give it to yourself. All right, in 3, 2, 1, and here we go. Shoulder to overhead to start. You just stand tall or add that little dip drive. Breathe. Halfway. We spend 30 seconds with each exercise. Mountain climbers are next. And 3, 2, 1, just transition. Either elevate the hands or all the way down to the floor. Either way, midline nice and strong. Splay those fingers out nice and wide. Support through the hands. And just keep a little mild bend in those elbows so they're not hyperextended. That's halfway. Keep breathing. Driving the knee as close to that same side elbow as you can. Burpees are next. 2, 1, and here we go. Step or hop. You can do it from that elevated position too. I just place the hands down, step the feet back, up to overhead. We're showing it without the push-up. If anybody here wants more of a challenge, you're welcome to drop your chest down to the deck, add the full push-up in for the burpee. Otherwise, we're just doing the no push-up version today. We're almost through these. Getting ready for a rest or your jump jacks. 2, 1, and here we go. So I'm gonna probably keep it moving here for about the first 15 seconds, and then I'm gonna take a 15-second break in between sets. You're welcome to join me. And there's our 15. All right, that's set 1, 15 seconds till we start set 2. Back to that shoulder to overhead. And 2, 1, here we go. Have a little dip of the legs if you'd like, or a strict press. It just means that we use only the arms with no assist of the legs. Breathe as you elevate through those shoulders. Good. Midline strong, keeping those ribs pulled down, not letting yourself sway back. Mountain climbers in 2, 1, and transition. Nice wide handprint. Little give in those elbows. Breathe as you move here. You're going to challenge that breathing as you drive that knee up. You're slightly compressing that diaphragm. 10 seconds left. Getting ready for those burpees. You can step the feet or hop the feet up. 2, 1, here we go. If you hop, midline nice and strong. Make sure you don't have any irritations of the low back, because that is going to be more demanding on that low back to hop the feet up. Very nice. Squeeze your bum to pull yourself up to vertical. Awesome. Maybe 1 or 2 more. And 2, 1. Rest break, or our jump jacks, or step jacks. Woo! Great job. Starting to get that heart rate a little bit higher. 2, 1. That's our 15-second mark. Into set 2. All right. Set 3 coming up here in about 5 seconds. Shoulder to overhead. 2, 1. Here we go. If you are dipping the legs, sit back into those heels. Push the knees out just like you're doing a little quarter squat. Sometimes we see the knees start to drop in. So heels down, knees out if you're doing that. We call it a push press. So you dip and you drive. Still elevating through those shoulders. Woo! Get ready for mountain climbers. 2, 1. Transition. Wide handprint. Strong support. Activate your lower core so you can hold the pelvis as neutral as possible as you drive that knee up. Keep the breathing going. Lifting up to that mid back so you don't drop into your shoulders. 10 seconds to the burpees. Woo! 2, 1, and burpee. Step or hop. We're stepping. We're going to try to step up and back with the left leg. And then next rep, up and back with the right leg. Keep your hips as balanced as you can. It's normal to have a dominant side. We want to kind of bring some awareness to that. Keep each side moving equally. Good job. Getting ready for the, we are on the burpees. Getting ready for our jump jacks and rotate. Nice work. Into set 3. Fantastic job, everybody. Smile. That's 15. All right, set 4. And anytime you're like, whoo, too much, take a cycle off. I'll give you a 2-minute break, kind of gain composure. We're gonna go 2 more rounds here. 2, 1, here's set 4. Breathe, pushing up to overhead. As you tense your belly, also tense your backside. So squeeze those glutes. 15 seconds in. Good job. Exhale as you push nice and high. Getting ready for mountain climbers. 2, 1, transition. Fantastic. Getting down, lifting up to that mid back. Tough little circuit here. So if you're kind of yelling at yourself or criticizing yourself about breathing hard, it's okay, we all are. That's what we do in exercise. Intentionally stress the bodies so we come back stronger. And burpees in 2, 1. Here we go. Step or hop. Alternating side to side with the step back legs. Good strong plank in the bottom position. Squeezing the glutes to pull yourself upright. Try to keep that breathing nice and rhythmic so it kind of matches the movement, sounds the same from set to set. 2, 1, transition, step jack or jump jack. Into round 4. Wonderful job. Y'all are looking very strong. That's 15 seconds. 15 seconds to that final round. Or if 4 is great for you for today, then just hang out. We'll do our cool down stretch here soon. Otherwise, final shoulder to overhead in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Midline strong as you push high. Great job, Jean. Yeah, great dip, Sharon. Knees drive out. Pushing tall. 10 seconds. I'm adding a little dip and drive to mine. Strict presser to tire out. All right, last round of mountain climbers. 2, 1. Taking it down. Awesome. Splay the hands, holding strong. Stepping that knee towards the same side elbow. Staying as level as you can through the pelvis. Focus your gaze right between your wrists. Hold that head neutral. Last set of burpees coming up. 2, 1, and transition. Stepping it up, squeezing the back side. Up and down. Woo! Encourage yourself all the way through here. Got less than a minute to work. We'll finish with a full 30 seconds of those step jacks or jump jacks. If anyone's resting right now, if you want to join us for that last 30 seconds, we always welcome you to finish with a little bit more blood flow. Maybe one more burpee. And 2, 1, step jacks or jump jacks. So feel free, if you want to step it out, start to bring that heart rate down, or hop it out. 20 seconds. Awesome. So you get that clap overhead. Generate a little bit more energy. Good. Final 10. Woo. Awesome. Have some fun with it. Last little bit. 2, 1, and all done. Well done, everybody. Let's have a round of applause. Virtual high fives. All right, let's walk it out and find your water. Ah, great work. If you weren't awake before, hopefully you are now.
That was great, Shauna. I actually really enjoyed the floor work. It really helped my hips and back.
Oh, good, Diane.
Yeah, because I've been so stationary.
Yeah.
All week, you know, it just, everything was tight. It was great.
Awesome. Glad to hear it. We're going to stay on our feet for the first part of the cool down stretch. We're going to go behind the back stretch. So I'm going to walk the feet nice and wide. Root down into your feet. And now we're going to pull the shoulders back. You can grab a strap here or a towel as needed. If you can interlace those fingers, that's our goal. Interlace, extend those elbows out. Keep the ribs down. So we don't want to go into that sway back posture. And either staying here or take into that forward fold by rooting down into your legs, sending those hips back. And now turn your gaze towards the floor. Hold strong in the midline and those legs. Pulling the arms up to overhead. It's not literally coming overhead, right? But just over top of our torso. Breathing deep, maybe one more. And then root your feet down, come on back up and release. Just shake out those arms and just back to a nice gentle side step here. This is where we now want to start to shift gears of our nervous system. Taking some nice deep breaths. Our breathing is the best way that we can kind of downshift our nervous system from that stress state to that relax and regenerates. All right, let's go your right foot forward, left foot back. We're just gonna give a little bit more attention to the upper body, reaching forward, circling it around, 2 to 3 times this direction, and then we'll reverse. Reach forward. Turn your palm in towards your body as you reach forward. As you come over to head, twist the hand so the palm is facing away on this back reach. And then we're going to reverse it. Same thing other way. Palm faces away, reaching back first, twisting gently overhead. So now the palm reaches in and forward. Good job. One more time. Kind of add the hips into it a little bit. Rotate open, around, and forward. Beautiful. Back to that side step. And we'll do the same thing on the opposite side. And then let's go your left foot forward, your right foot back, left hand on the left hip. And then let's go 2 or 3 nice big sweeping circles. As you reach through the arm, also think about lifting up out of that hip. Reach palm in, kind of gaze up to overhead, palm away. And then I'll reverse it, reaching back, bringing it up and forward, reaching forward. Very good. Wonderful. We're going to make our way down to the floor. Let's go our Jefferson curl on the way though. Bend into the knees, hands on the thighs, chin to the chest. We're going to revisit that toe touch, pulling the belly button in as you reach down, similar to how we started class. And you might find that you're a little bit farther this time. If that workout stressed you a lot, you might be a little bit shorter this time. Just changes from person to person. And then as best you're able, come on down. Making your way down to your knees. We're going to go toes together, knees divide. For child's pose this time, we're going to go palms up. So you're going to go little fingers together with the palms facing up towards the ceiling. And then dropping those hips back, dropping the head down. And center back to that breath. Remember, we want to try to bring ourselves back into a state of relaxation. So now we can start to really relax on the exhale. Breathe deep. Let all the tension go on the exhale. One more. Fantastic. Go ahead and come on up and onto your side. We're going back to our quad stretch. So you can either stay up on the elbow, or if you want to lie down on an outstretched arm, top foot towards the heel, grabbing the heel towards the glute. We're going to hold about 20 to 30 seconds here. And just remember, your breath is always there for you. So if you find yourself stressed out during the day, maybe you got some kind of news that just gave your body some worry or something to be concerned about, you can always close your eyes, put your hands on your chest and breathe and just try to relax and control what you can. Go ahead and release. Same thing, other side. Either outstretched arm or propped up on that elbow. Grabbing that top foot best you can. We'll go about 20 seconds here. Especially when we care about people, there's always a lot that we can be concerned about, but we can also just focus that energy into some love for them and just trust the process and just do what we can to control our own stress levels so we can keep ourselves as healthy as possible. And enjoy the moments of life. Fantastic. Go ahead and release there. We're going to go onto our back and finishing with that figure 4 stretch. So we're setting your shoulder blades in a good position, kind of pulling them back and down to open the chest while you're on your back. And then let's take the left foot onto the right thigh, and you're going to hug that right leg in. We're going to take about 15 seconds to start to just allow that left hip to open. And then we're going to add a little sciatic nerve or hamstring movement to it. So one more breath here, nice and deep. And then when you're ready, you can take the right leg, extend it, pushing the foot up towards the ceiling, point the toe towards the ceiling, pull the toes back towards your face, and then you're going to bend that knee back down, hugging that leg in. Twice more, extend, point, pull it back towards your face. Ooh, got a good stretch there, and then down and in. Last time. Very good. Go ahead and release that side when you're ready. Same thing on the opposite side. Right foot on the left thigh and hug that left leg in. Just take some time here to relax the right hip first. And then as you'd like, left leg extends straight up. Point that foot to the ceiling. Pull those toes back towards your face. And bend that knee down, hugging the leg in. Twice more. This helps get the nerve in the back of the leg moving, keeping that sciatic nerve gliding past the muscles and all the other tissues that live back there. Last time. And then for our final posture here, your choice. You can either stick with that double knee to chest, or if you want to go into more of a happy baby, I'll bring my elbows on the insides of my knees and then look to grab the outside of my shins or my ankles, or if you can reach your feet. And you can use this to open the inner thighs at the same time as the low back. Just gently rocking yourself side to side. Make sure it feels right for your body. Fantastic. And then just go ahead and relax when you're done. Feel free to hang out here on the floor. Anything else that your body might be asking for? I'm going to go ahead and stop that recording. Thanks so much for being here, folks. Hope to see you next time.